So, what's it really take to hatch millions of chicks all at the exact same time? Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to crack open the 21-day miracle of the modern hatchery. And let me tell you, it's an incredible journey of science and precision engineering.
Yeah, a million eggs at once. I mean, just think about that number. It sounds almost impossible, right? But the answer isn't some kind of magic trick. It's this amazing mix of high-stakes biology and some seriously incredible technology that turns a totally natural process into, well, an industrial science.
Okay, so let's dive right in. And you've got to understand, this is about so much more than just, keeping eggs warm. We're talking about creating a perfectly controlled environment, a high-tech nursery, really, that guides an embryo through its most critical 21 days of life.
But here's the thing. That 21-day journey, it doesn't actually start in the incubator. Nope. It all starts with selection. The success of the entire operation, literally the whole thing, hinges on picking the absolute perfect eggs from the very beginning. All right, so the very first gatekeeper here is a metric they call apparent fertility. It sounds technical, but it's pretty simple. It just tells the managers what percentage of eggs in any given batch are actually fertilized. It's their baseline, you know? It gives them a clear idea of what they're working with and what their potential success could be.
And check this out. This is where it gets really interesting. That fertility percentage, it's directly tied to the age of the mother hen. Look at this. It starts off a bit lower, then it spikes to this incredible peak of nearly 99% at 30 weeks old, and then it just gently declines. This isn't just a bunch of numbers on a chart. For the hatchery manager, this is everything. It's how they forecast the success of an entire batch.
And the quality control at this stage is just relentless. I mean, any egg that's cracked, misshapen, or even a little too small gets pulled from the line. A top-tier supplier is aiming to reject no more than 2 to 4%. So you can imagine only the absolute best of the best make it to the next stage.
Okay, so once the eggs pass that tough inspection, they finally enter the incubator. And for the next 18 days, this machine becomes the most attentive mother hen you can possibly imagine, controlling every single variable to orchestrate a perfect transformation. Now, success inside that incubator really boils down to these 4 pillars. Temperature is king, for sure. It's the main thing driving the embryo's development. But it has to work in perfect harmony with humidity, turning, and ventilation. You mess up one, and the whole system can fail. It's a delicate balancing act. Let's just focus on the turning for a second, because it's fascinating. For 18 straight days, these eggs are gently tilted 45 degrees once, every hour. So why do they do that? Well, this constant gentle motion is absolutely vital. It stops the delicate little embryo from sticking to the inside of the shell, which, if it happened, would be fatal.
All right, now this part might seem a little counterintuitive, but the egg actually needs to lose weight while it's in there. The goal is for it to lose about 12% of its initial weight, and that's all moisture evaporating. This process creates a tiny air sac inside the shell, which is what the chick will eventually poke through to take its very first breath. Pretty cool, huh?
So, when it comes to the incubators themselves, hatcheries have a big choice to make. You've got multi-stage systems, which are cheaper up front. But more and more, the industry is shifting to single stage. And the reason is really simple. It's all about control. With a single-stage system, all the eggs are at the exact same developmental stage. That means you can tailor the environment perfectly for them, and that leads to healthier, more uniform chicks, and ultimately, a much better final product.
And this timeline here, it perfectly lays out the 3 key moments in this whole controlled journey. You've got day 0, that's setting, when they go into the incubator. Then day 18 is the transfer, which is a really critical move. And then finally, around day 21, it's takeoff. The chicks have hatched, and they're ready to go.
All right, day 18. This is a big day. It's time for that critical move we just mentioned. The eggs leave the incubator and are transferred into a completely different machine called the hatcher. This is it. This is where the final 3-day countdown to hatching really begins.
And once those eggs are in the hatcher, the managers become obsessed with one thing, the hatch window. Now, this isn't a physical window you look through, it's a window of time. It's the period between the very first chick hatching and the very last one breaking out of its shell.
You see, with a perfectly managed batch, the hatch should be short and super synchronized. The goal is to get that hatch window under 24 hours. Because if it drags on any longer, say over 30 hours, those first little chicks that hatched risk getting dehydrated while they're just sitting around waiting for everyone else. So timing is absolutely everything here.
But the moment a chick hatches isn't the finish line, not by a long shot. In fact, you could say it's the start of a brand new and equally critical phase of quality control and care, all to make sure each chick is as robust and healthy as it can be.
So, what exactly makes for a perfect chick? Right after takeoff, every single one is evaluated. They're looking for a few key things. They have to be active, clean, and dry. Their navel needs to have healed up perfectly. Any sign of weakness or deformity, and they just don't make the cut. The standards are incredibly high.
And here's a vital sign that's maybe one of the most important: the chick's internal temperature. The target is an incredibly precise 40 degrees Celsius, that's 104 Fahrenheit. And keeping them at that exact temperature from the moment they leave the hatcher all the way to the farm is absolutely critical for their survival and their long-term health.
And you have to remember, all of this data collection, all of this incredible precision, it isn't just about making one successful batch. It's about creating a constant feedback loop so that every single cycle gets better and smarter than the last.
So what happens to the ones that don't hatch? Well, this is fascinating. Even the failures are incredibly valuable. Those unhatched eggs aren't just thrown away. No way. They hold vital clues to what might have gone wrong, and they get analyzed very, very carefully.
Yeah, you can think of this process as basically forensic science for the hatchery. It's officially called a debris breakout analysis. Technicians will actually open up the unhatched eggs, and by examining the embryos, they can pinpoint exactly why it failed. Was it a fertility issue from the start? A problem during incubation? Maybe even contamination? It's all about learning from your mistakes.
So at the end of the day, what this all comes down to is a symphony of data. You see how every single phase has its own key performance indicator, its own KPI. From that apparent fertility number at the very start, to the egg weight loss during incubation, all the way to that final chick temperature check. Every single number matters.
And this philosophy, this idea, really sums the whole thing up. A hatchery's success isn't just about how many chicks they hatch. It's about the quality and the potential packed into every single one. And that commitment has this massive ripple effect all the way through the global food supply chain.
When you see this level of precision and care, it really makes you think, doesn't it? If this is what it takes just to get them through the first 21 days, what on earth happens next? It's a powerful reminder that in a system this complex, everything, absolutely everything, begins with a perfect start.